What is up, Need for Speed Racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut, and we're here, BMW week, day 2, BMW X6. This car's a lot of fun to drive. If you like driving alternative cars in lobbies, you don't want to run the meta, you like to run other things, this is very competitive for what it is. I mean, it's a big old chunky SUV, and it's actually pretty fast. I was able to get a handful of wins in it. It's no slouch. There's definitely a lot of other builds that are worse than this that I've seen around, so I would say if you like BMWs and you like driving cars that are off meta, this is the one. Go check this out. It's a lot of fun, you guys. It surprised me enough that I did the Z4 first, then I did this, and then the next 3 BMWs that I built after that and got into, I was unhappy with their performance because I expected them to perform better than this. And they didn't. They were on par with this. And I was like, how is the SUV better than an M3? How is it better than an M5? Doesn't make any sense. Regardless, this car is awesome. Let's give it a build. Also, big shout out to my man, Flackido. He's the one putting the music on my tracks these days, and I'm thankful for that. Anybody that has music that they're sharing, and if you're interested in perhaps getting your tracks on any of my videos, hit me up on Discord. I'm more than happy to look into anybody's music. I'm thankful for all the help that all you guys are creating out there and giving to me, and it's awesome. So anyway, you guys are here for the build, so let's go do that. For the engine, you are going to be running the second from all the way to the left. It is the 5.0 liter V8. Starts out with 575 horsepower. It is the Sport Bronze engine. I've tried this one. It doesn't handle the same as this one does. I think this is better. We ran a couple other ones as well, but at the end of the day, this gets you the highest numbers and the best performance out of all the ones. For the parts, you are going to be running Gold Super Induction. You're going to be running Platinum Elite ECU. You're going to be running Platinum Elite Fuel System. You're going to be running Gold Super Exhaust. Platinum Elite Supercharger. We first built this with the turbo because it gave us more horsepower and a little higher top speed. It was a little sluggish. I didn't love the car. As soon as we slapped in the roots, it woke up. The whole vehicle performance just changed. That supercharger makes this thing really do much better getting out of the corners. Anything that is not top speed and the high end of the RPMs, this performs so much better. So build it with the roots. It really is a lot better that way. Running Bronze Sport Nitrous. You'll never see me put a bigger bottle in these cars unless it's for a specific event. If you are watching someone else's builds and they're putting in clutches and brakes and nitrous, it's because they didn't put the right motor and the right parts in it. You should be able to do all horsepower and torque, grip, and suspension. Then you maybe tweak the transmission to get the right top speed for whatever class you're working in with the most amount of points. If you are putting stuff into your nitrous, into your brakes, into your clutch, in my opinion, you are wasting performance index points on parts that are not going to perform well for you. Like, what are we doing with brakes? Anyway, you're going to be running Elite Road Suspension, Sport Bronze Brakes, Elite Platinum Grip Tires, Super Gold Clutch, Pro Silver 6-speed transmission. I tried it with the 7. They are the same. You get no additional top speed with the 7-speed. It just adds an extra gear. 6 is plenty for this build. Roll the 6 because it's 1 less PI or performance index point, so I'm running on the low side of things there. It's better. You are running the Elite Platinum Differential. Auxiliaries, I'm running Nitrous Grip, Nitrous Drift. You do a little bit of both in this car. Up to you. If you guys find yourself 2nd, 3rd, 4th place chasing the leaders more often than not, I would recommend alternating one of those for Nitrous Draft. It's going to help you out a lot. For the handling portion, we're 100% Beyonce to the left, to the left. This car is really good in the grip. I think needs a grip build. It's a little slidey with anything less than that. Steering sensitivity, I'm 2 clicks to the right off of center. Up to you how you run that, but I think it right now at this point, keep it the same across most of your builds, like maybe 1 or 2 clicks within the normal realm. And then if you're struggling with too much counter steer on one car, back it off, and if that's better for you, maybe back it off on the rest of your builds. If that slider's in the same spot, that determines, steering sensitivity determines how fast the wheels turn when you put input into the thumbstick. And so if it's really high, the wheels turn faster. If it's really slow or low, the wheels turn a little slower. If you have it set to different levels on all different cars, it's really hard to remain consistent. And so I would recommend putting that in a spot and kind of trying to keep it there. Or if you make an adjustment and you are happy with that, adjust it on your other cars too. It'll probably help you in the long run. Downforce. You are running, it's 3 clicks from center. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 clicks from center. Or you can run all the way high. Those are the only 2 spots that put this into 329, so be aware of that. I think a little less on the downforce side is good for this car. It helps it at the top end a little bit. Traction control is off. Drift entry, I have brake tap. You can do gas tap. If you're not doing micro drifts yet, drift entry, turn it off. Just run the car as a grip build. But for myself, I'm doing brake tap. As a team, a few of us are working on getting to the upper tiers of our speed. We're working on the different events, that race on challenge. And for that, you got to be micro drifting. And so we're working on brake tap right now, or gas tap, whatever works. We found that gas tap is a little less consistent. Brake tap's pretty consistent, so most of us have been doing that. So when it's all said and done, it's going to give you the BMW X6 2016. This is the M version. Horsepower 1124. Max torque 962. Top speed 196. Quarter mile and 0 to 60 don't matter. Fight me in the comments. This car's a lot of fun to drive. It's good enough that it made me unhappy with the other BMWs because they're not better. They're on par. And so why drive the little car when I can drive the big beastie chunky boy? This is a lot of fun. It's a great looking car. It feels good to drive fast. If you're a BMW person, if you're a BMW boy, this is pretty solid. I've got 3 races after this, some gameplay footage so you can see this thing in action. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out and supporting the channel. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. Alright, for our first race, we are going to be running the squad, the Cornnut crew. I think we got about 6 of them in this race, so it's a little more rowdy than it typically is, just because we run a little harder when they know I'm trying to get gameplay footage, I swear. But regardless, we get a pretty good launch there. It is a full party of 8, so you'll see that, you know, if you get a decent start in this car, it does very well. Launch it in 4th gear if you're a manual player. Otherwise, just get that perfect start in auto. We'll see that Prio right there, that Porsche is working to fight past us. There was a little bit of desync, that's why it appeared that he slowed down there. For that corner, you want to e-brake early. Try to carry that through the gas station so you can get a full top up on your nitrous, and also repair your car just so you have aesthetics. You want to cut it tight through here so that way you don't get too wide into traffic. Bad traffic spawn, so we had to slow down even more. That allowed Alger to pass us in that Evo. That Evo is not very good, so we should have no problem walking him down. You want to take this corner very tight and try to set a straight line through that once you make your corner. It's a very hard, narrow line to hit, but once you do, it's really rewarding. That allows us to really catch up on that Evo. And that's an exhibition of what this car is capable of, is how we're able to make that Mitsubishi look like it's in a class below us. And it's a skill issue at that point with the way he's hitting traffic, but it's alright. This X6 is actually pretty good. He's not walking on us. He's not catching us. We're actually slowly walking away from him. So this has actually got a little more horsepower. And shoot, we're going 201. So it's solid. This car holds its own. I think it's quite good. Alright, blue collar in the X6. This vehicle is all-wheel drive, so you can do some D-gen lines. So we get a mixture of a few different things. I don't know who that is in the Porsche RS, but they've got a stock license plate, so no respect, no respect. Dishonor on them for driving a car that has a stock plate. Once again, we launched it in 4th. Automatic players, you want to just focus on getting that perfect launch. If you are a manual player and you don't get a perfect launch, it doesn't matter what gear you're in big trouble. E-brake turns, keeping it nice and tight, keeping it on the concrete. We can't do crazy golf stuff. The desync is amazing. We touch him and he flies in front of us like that, I swear. That's what happens when I play with people overseas. Alger, he's based out of Ireland. I got other guys that are raised from the UK, Germany, and so the desync that I get in my lobbies is something special. We're going to save our yellow boost for this corner and then use it up the hill to gain as much momentum as possible. Very, very degen line, but it put us out in front of Alger, so it was worth it for sure. Gonna just drift in, keep it real tight. We get a little off axis there by hitting the inside of that corner, so it threw us a little wider than I would have liked, but regardless, the X6 actually surprised me and impressed me, which is not easy to do. Overall, it's a lot better car than I expected, so I will probably race it more often in the future just because it's fun to beat up people in public lobbies with a car that is so far out of the norm. Like, it's one thing to see some, odd cars here and there, but the SUV really takes the cake for me. It does fare through the dirt. We were walking on that Evo no problem, and that's a rally car. This is a family grocery getter for a soccer mom, but regardless, we make it work. So nice tight lines, using the yellow boost to accelerate, getting back up to speed, then using most of my blue bar to get going as well. Right back into a drift turn, building that yellow bar. That's why I have grip boost and drift boost on, you guys, because I'm going to use both. And you'll see that I'm using my blue bar all the way almost every corner because I'm trying to build that back up to get back up to speed. And even with a bronze nitrous bottle, you'll see that I fill that blue bar over half in every corner just because we're getting good drifts, getting good grips. Overall, this car is really good. This isn't a stellar blue color time by any means, but for a car that's off meta, us being able to come in and perform the way we do, setting a 212 is pretty decent. Rapid Transit. Alright, this is a great track. One of my favorites. It is easy to drive because there's only one tight corner and the rest is just speed. But at the end of the day, your car's got to have the speed to maintain. We're going to launch in 4th gear. We've got to watch out for Darkshare. He is in the 1971 Skyline. He is using my build. That car is sweet. So he should have no problem walking on us at all. I'm not sure if he's using manual transmission or not. But regardless, you'll see that he's gaining yardage on us. Overall, this car accelerates just as good as a lot of the other S cars, so we don't have any problem with that. I was trying to do a micro drift there in that corner because this vehicle does do pretty good drifts. But I wasn't able to get it turned into a grip turn, but not a bad thing at all. So we get back up to speed, use all of our nitrous and boost to get up there, and I'm just using all of it. As soon as I get a yellow boost, blue boost, whatever, you name it, if I've got it in the tank, I'm using it to get up to speed so we can carry as much speed through this off-road section as possible. This BMW does pretty good. It doesn't lose a ton of speed in the off-road portion of the track. The little bobble at the end, once we got elevated and got back onto the tarmac, actually cost us 20 miles an hour, whereas hitting the dirt only cost us 10. The beauty of this car is it does 200, so we're able to keep up with the pack. Darkshare should be able to pass us because he does 208, but I think there is a little bit of a skill gap between where he drives and where I'm at. Now look at that drift right there. Look at that perfect drift. We're not losing speed, we're not really gaining speed, but we're able to fill up our yellow bar and get full boost out of that corner, which allows us to get up to speed sooner so we can create some gap between Darkshare and NIL behind us. We were actually giving Darkshare a little bit of a hard time because he's in the most meta car for S-Class for this track, in my opinion, other than maybe the Golf. And I was like, dude, if you lose to this X6, you need to sell that Skyline. And so, spoiler alert, he did go sell the Skyline. This car is a lot of fun to drive. It's really a lot more competitive than I wanted to give it credit for. My man Alger was a little salty from the last race, so he was doing full roadblock mode. You saw that we had to get around that before. Avoiding the train. The train is like the most unruly thing. Sometimes you don't interact with it at all. In other tracks, you'll catch it on both ends of this, and it's just insane. I asked one of my guys when we were talking, he's like, man, I'm trying to find mods to remove the train just because I'm tired of it. And I was like, no, dude, let's double down. Let's make the train twice as long and go 4 times as fast, and we'll have a bullet train that is totally unpredictable, and then we've got some real RNG. And obviously we were not able to figure that out, but that would have been really cool. So if any of you guys are hacker mans out there that know how to manipulate the train, let me know. we'd have fun with that. But at the end of the day, you guys, this car is actually pretty good. You'll see that I've got 400 yards on everybody behind me. And they're not bad drivers, any of those guys. I wouldn't say that they're elite level record setters by any means, but they're all very competent lobby slayers. But when we all get together in a group, this car does very well, and I'm very happy with it. So I'd encourage you guys to give it a build. 246 is a long ways off from the 235 I can do in the 71 Skyline, but that's okay. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Bye-bye.